So welcome, friends, to our meditation time today. I invite you just to get to a spot where you can just allow yourself just to relax. Ground into your seat, stretch out onto your back, whatever feels right for you physically. And then if you are ready, you can allow your eyes to close if that's available. And as you do that, just check in with yourself. Just see how you are on this day, in this moment. Check in and notice what's going on in your head. What emotions are you feeling? What physical sensations do you notice in your body? And just take the whole of you. Just take it in with these next few breaths here. Almost like you're welcoming yourself. All the parts, the emotions, the busy thoughts, the restless body, bringing it all together to this present moment. And then we'll join each of our beautiful energies together collectively. So just take a slow, deep breath in and a gentle breath out. And a slow breath in. And another gentle breath out. Let's do that one more time. A slow breath in. And a gentle breath out. And as we pause, allowing the Yoga Sutra that will inspire our practice today to just kind of hold space for us, I want to share this translation of this particular sutra and just see what immediately resonates with you as you hear the words. The sutra is about integrating today with yesterday and today with tomorrow. We've talked very recently about this integration of the past with the present and the present with the future. But let's bring it down just to a little more realistic nature. What does it look like for you to integrate yesterday with today? And what would it look like for you to integrate today with tomorrow? To the point that you almost feel the seamless connection between the three. And it's interesting that Patanjali dedicated an entire sutra to just this idea. The integration of yesterday with today and today with tomorrow. And then he goes on to explain a bit. And he says, yes, we are being asked to live in the present moment. We are being asked to embrace each moment as it comes. But there's this concept in the yogic teachings called vidya. And its counterpart is avidya. Vidya means knowledge, deep wisdom, not just the facts of knowing something, but knowing something in the core of who you are. And avidya is this idea of being a little bit blind, a little bit ignorant, not very aware. Maybe we haven't learned something yet, or we've learned it, but we didn't internalize it. And so he says, I want you to come at this idea of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I want you to come at it with vidya, knowledge, wisdom. And so when he posed that thought, it just kind of makes you scratch your head and think, but how am I supposed to live in the present moment if I'm trying to integrate yesterday's things and the things of tomorrow that haven't come? And he takes us back to this word and he says very simply, vidya, wisdom. And so I would invite you, in the way that he invites us in this one particular sutra, to think of something that you learned yesterday. It doesn't have to be a big lesson or a big understanding of something, but just something that you learned about the weather, about yourself, about someone that you work with, about a skill that you're trying to develop, about how something works or doesn't. What did you learn yesterday? And the way that Patanjali wants us to think about yesterday in this integration is, how can the actions of yesterday inform the actions of today? That's the integration. So how is it that we gain knowledge yesterday? We learned something about ourselves, about our family, about someone that's close to us, about our systems in our world and how they work. And how can we use that wisdom to inform how we move and how we act today? Or do we just leave that lesson in the past and just check it off as something else that we know? And we start off again today, doing our best to figure things out. Patanjali says in Yoga Sutras, I want you to integrate yesterday with today and today with tomorrow. And then he goes on to say that what you're doing today plants the seeds for your actions tomorrow. The integration of today with tomorrow. The vidya, the wisdom you're gaining today, plants the seeds for how you will act tomorrow. So let's bring this back to our practice, because we all have learned different things. We've moved through the world in different ways. But just think about if you sat in meditation yesterday. Just see yourself there, sitting nice and tall, that long spine, or stretching out, whatever position you've taken. And as you practiced, as you meditated yesterday, you learned that you're holding a lot of resentment about something that happened long ago. You're holding it in your heart. You can almost feel the heaviness of it pressing on your heart. You see the person that you've been a little angry with. You see the action that caused the resentment. And had you not sat quietly in meditation without the distractions and the noise of the world, you might not have realized that you're holding on to a little bit of resentment, a little bit of anger. And so as you sit in meditation, or as you sat yesterday and that came up, what Patanjali is trying to help us understand is, now what do you do about that? What do you do about these things that you learn each day? Do you push them aside and discount them, or do you let it be a part of this wisdom that you are acquiring through this practice? So we sat in meditation yesterday. We realized we have some old resentments that we're still holding on to. We feel them in our heart. And then today, with that knowledge, we're really careful in how we move through the world. We don't want to create more heaviness. We don't want to feed this resentment within us. We're going to move with a little more intention. We're going to watch how emotions bubble up and what we do with them. We're going to check in with our jaw when it starts to get tight, or our fists when they begin to clench, or our heart when it begins to beat fast. And we're going to use this knowledge that we gained yesterday, sitting in meditation, to inform how we move today. We have more awareness. And then Patanjali says, but it doesn't stop there, because the way you're moving today is planting the seed for how you're going to move tomorrow. Yesterday you learned that you're holding on to resentment. Today you're trying to live differently. And that will inform how you live tomorrow. But now think about the other side. You sat in meditation yesterday. You noticed this resentment that was building up, things that happened long ago, but as you got quiet and still, you saw the image. You saw the act, the person, and it was as if it was happening again. And your heart was tight and your chest was heavy, and you saw it all happening right there in meditation. That was yesterday. And then today, all those feelings are fresh from what you remembered. And you pick up the phone and you call that person from long ago. And you decide to let them know how it was that they've hurt you and why it is that you are still angry with them. And then tomorrow that anger is still there and you interact with someone new and they feel the impact of it, even though they had nothing to do with it. Two very different ways that our yesterday and our today and our tomorrow are connected. One situation, we use the understanding of yesterday to be mindful today, to choose differently, planting seeds of mindful intention for tomorrow. And then on the other side, we let these lessons of yesterday stir up feelings and emotions that are not good for us, causing us to act in ways that don't represent our heart. And then it plants seeds for tomorrow that are not the right action for how we want to live. And we realize we're in this cycle and we keep repeating it. But what Patanjali tells us in this Yoga Sutra is, let's integrate our yesterday, our today, and our tomorrow with vidya, with deep wisdom that helps you to see who you really are, the compassion and the goodness that fills you up, that helps you to see that that day of resentment is not you. And you learn from that, and you move beyond that, and you plant new seeds for how you want to move through your life. And resentment may not be the thing that you're sitting with or grappling with, but we all have our thing. And so the question of this Yoga Sutra is, what do you do with the knowledge? What do you do with the knowledge that you got yesterday? How is it informing today? And what seeds is it planting for tomorrow? We've all been hurt. Meditation and yoga and these practices do not insulate us from that. We've all been hurt. Some of us by people close to us, which oftentimes makes the hurt feel like it's even more. But do you live from a place of hurt? Or do you gain wisdom about yourself from the experience and begin to move through your life differently because of it? That, Patanjali tells us, is vidya. That is the true wisdom of knowing who you are at the core of your being, that you're only going to let the lessons of the past make you better, make you kinder, make you more compassionate. Knowing that when you do that, you will plant seeds of kindness and compassion and goodness for tomorrow. And not only will you benefit from that, but so will your world. And so as we sit for just this next couple of moments of quiet, I would ask you, what's the stuff of yesterday that you're sitting with? And maybe not just yesterday as in the day before now, but in your yesterdays. What are the lessons that you can learn about how you want to move through life today and what seeds you want to plant for tomorrow? We choose this. The world doesn't choose it for us. And truly, the world doesn't even influence it. We choose it. So as we sit for just this next little bit of quiet, just see what is your thing from yesterday. And what are you learning from it? And maybe you're not ready to think yet about the integration of tomorrow and the seeds to plant. Just sit with the learning, the wisdom from yesterday. What is it helping you to know? And how is it helping you to be? Begin to bring your awareness back to that next breath coming in. And then just allow it to pass as you breathe out. And if it feels comfortable and if it's available, I would invite you to bring one hand to your heart. You can cover it with the other hand, or you can just place one, or you don't have to do either. But as you think about your heart center, you think about this integration of the yesterday with the today with the tomorrow. There are many parts of our yesterdays that make us feel a little bit broken and hurt. And sometimes maybe even damaged a little bit. But do you want your yesterdays to continue to perpetuate brokenness today and tomorrow? Or do you want the lessons and the knowledge, the wisdom you're gaining from whatever caused you to feel this way and to act upon these things? Do you want it to help you become whole again? Then you decide what seeds you want to plant for tomorrow. Seeds that perpetuate the brokenness, the hurt, or seeds that are all about a different kind of tomorrow. Not discounting what you have experienced and learned in the past, but letting it be a part of this beautiful wisdom that you are acquiring. That, Patanjali tells us, is the full integration of the yesterday with the today and with the tomorrow. That is Vidya. Namaste.